And so starting things off, we're going to take a look here at their packaging. So we're going to start off with Scrapper here. As you can see, we get a really nice CGI artwork, or just this amazing art style of Scrapper in his robot mode, his construction vehicle mode, Transformers Studio Series, Transformers the movie, Constructicon Scrapper. On the side of the box, we have the lovely artwork of Devastator. On the top, Transformers the movie and Scrapper. On the side of the box, we have the artwork continuing over to the side, as well as Autobot City with the Autobot logo and the Voyager class. On the back of the box, you do have the obligatory product shot with the robot mode, the vehicle mode, Scrapper holding some of his weapons. We have Devastator fighting the Dinobots, and a bio that reads, Scrapper is the engineer and designer of the Constructicons. He combines with the other Constructicons to form Devastator. So that's it for his packaging. Now getting to Bonecrusher, he has pretty much the exact same things as Scrapper, just in the difference of him being in the deluxe, except for the deluxe sizing. But on the back of the box, as you can see, robot mode, vehicle mode, same thing. And the bio that reads, Bonecrusher battles the Autobots in Autobot City on Earth. So that's it for the packaging. So now let's get into the figures. And with that out of the way, here we are with the Voyager class Scrapper and the deluxe class Bonecrusher, two figures that start off the 86 version of Devastator. So without further ado, let's get a closer look at these guys. Starting off here with Scrapper, as you can see, he does have a lot of the basic designs that the 86 figures and the 86 characters usually have, based off the fact that they had some pretty simple animation when, you know, it was like 1984, 1986. But they were able to capture it super well. The head sculpt is absolutely incredible. The chest detailing and just all the little detailings here and there with the green, the purple, the silver, just everything works super well. And the backpack, this might seem really bad, but this is actually pretty decent, to be perfectly honest with you. Following up close behind is Bonecrusher, and yeah, this detailing, he's a lot more simple, as the fact that he just forms one of the arms of Devastator, and he does have a lot more simple detailing, which I feel like this figure could have definitely used a little more paint perhaps. There's just so much green that it just kind of contrasts everything, but overall he doesn't look too bad.
Hey guys, it's me editing the video. I looked back at the model of Bonecrusher in the 86 movie and in the 84 show, and I didn't fully realize how, you know, the paint that he has, the lack of paint, that's part of his character, like a part of his character design. Yeah, so ignore what I just said. Let's get back to the video.
Now, getting to these guys' articulation, they do have kind of similar articulation, but they also have a little bit different articulation. Once again, starting with Scrapper, you do have a ball joint at the head. Allows him to look up that far, look down that far, as well as look side to side. You get a full 360 at the arm. You just gotta make sure to watch out for the scoop. Arm moves out, swivel here, bend at the elbow, and it's a little more tighter because that is for the transformation. Stay tuned. Because of the transformation, you do get a move in and out on the wrist. No waist swivel, but you do get a little crunch, a little side crunch. It only goes that way though, just because that's for the Devastator component. The leg can kick up about that far, can kick back about that far, leg can kick out about that far. Swivel here. You get a bend at the knee. You get an up at the toe, and you do get a excellent pivot. So overall, Scrapper's articulation is fantastic, but what about Bonecrusher's? Well, let's take a look at him. For Bonecrusher, you also get a ball joint at the head, allows him to look up really far and look down a pretty decent amount, as well as look side to side. You do get a full 360 at the arm. Arm moves out because it is on a ball joint. You do technically get a swivel, it's a tiny one. You do get a ball joint here at the elbow, and because of the transformation, the arm can also move back, which is a pretty cool detail. No waist swivel, unfortunately. The leg can kick up about that far, can kick back. If you watch out for this little tab that's down here, you can kick about that far. The leg moves out, swivel here, a very tight bend at the knee. No up and down at the foot. The toes can close, but it's more for the transformation, and you do get, once again, a excellent pivot. And so overall, these guys' articulation are fantastic. I genuinely think you can get a lot of really great poses with these guys. But what about their accessories? Well, starting off with Bonecrusher, he only comes with one accessory, being this blaster. And as you can see, it looks pretty decent. It's got some decent painting and sculpting. And the way you attach this is pretty simple as always. You just plug it into his hand, and you got a little pea shooter. Now, as for Scrapper, he does come with a few more accessories, starting off with his gun, which is a little bit larger. And once again, you can just give him the blaster, like so. But in case for some of you Combiner Wars fans, he does of course come with the pieces to form Devastator's gun, and you can either combine them together or you can just have Scrapper hold them individually. I'm just gonna have him hold one of the guns just because, you know, that's gonna be whole thing for later. So yeah, overall, I really love the way that these guys come together. I do kind of wish that Bonecrusher came with some accessory for Devastator, as is kind of what is tradition, I feel like, for Devastator, but that's just me. And so with all of that out of the way, how do these two scale? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Starting things off as always, here he is next to the Deluxe Class TF1 Optimus Prime and Megatron, the Voyager Class TF1 Sentinel Prime, aka my previous review, the Transformers Age of the Prime's Voyager Class Prima. Here they are next to the 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime. And because we don't currently have the 86 Megatron just yet, here they are next to the Leader Class 109 Concept Art Megatron. So there you are. And with that out of the way, guys, let's get on to Phase 1 of the transformation. And there we go. There is Phase 1, aka the first transformation, fully completed. And here they are in their construction vehicle mode. And these guys cleaned up really, really well. I am genuinely amazed. I get their 86 figures, but holy cow, that transformation was really fun. And getting to these guys' sculpting and detailing, they did a really good job with carrying over a lot of the details from the robot mode onto the vehicle modes. These guys look amazing. And they actually also made it a function where you could still, you know, work with the scoop and make it actually seem like a construction vehicle, which is something that I really do appreciate with these guys. The same can be said for Bonecrusher here as well. As you can see, they capture the detailing very, very well. And I feel like any 84 and 86 fan will genuinely really appreciate and love these figures. And of course, you do, of course, get the scoop. There is, of course, the little thing, because this was the front of the chest for the robot mode. So you do have to kind of keep the scoop down. But overall, it's nothing too crazy. And with that, guys, that go ahead and marks the end of the review. If I had to give my overall thoughts real quick, some pros, they look really good. They look really accurate to the movie, despite how simple their designs were. They were able to really capture the designs super well. Their detailing, articulation, everything is fantastic. The accessories are really, really good too. Nice and simple. And I like how even with Scrapper, he came with the gun for Devastator. That was a nice little inclusion. Their scaling, I'll admit, Scrapper scaling is a little awkward since he is basically like a deluxe despite being a Voyager price. But I understand why they did it, just because like they needed to be able to fit in the scaling, or not even the scaling, just to be able to fit in everything that they needed for Devastator, because he is obviously forming one of the legs. Now, cons, I wish that he was able to have a little more something, at least like with like the chest, because he has no waist swivel, no, you know, no wrist articulation, no none of that, and he can't, like, you know, he doesn't have an up and down at his foot. So that is definitely something that I wish that he could have came with, but I also understand why he is a deluxe, so obviously some things were had to be sacrificed in order to make these guys as good as they are. But if I had to rate both these guys individually, for Bonecrusher, I would have to give him a solid 7 out of 10, and for Scrapper, I would have to give him a solid 8.5 out of 10. Now, Scrapper is my favorite Constructicon, so I'm not even being biased here. I'm just going off what I think personally. Would I recommend these two? If you're trying to collect Devastator, absolutely. These guys are amazing. Or if you just want to, you know, further your 86 collection or even your 84 collection, I say go for it. These guys are really good, and I feel like that you don't necessarily feel like scammed out of your money. I think these two are really good overall. Alrighty, starting here with the packaging, we do have hook and long haul, as well as the steps to convert them. 86 hook and long haul. This side of the box we have their vehicle modes, a little bit better look there. On the side of the box we have Devastator. On the top we have hook and long haul. On the bottom, words, things, and the barcode. On the back of the box, you do have your obligatory product shot of hook, long haul, Devastator fighting off the Dinobots, as well as the bio, which reads, long haul and hook combined with the other Constructicons to form Devastator, which is a very accurate bio. And with that out of the way, here we are with Hook and Long Haul, and these two look super faithful to the original G1 show and the 86 movie, and these guys just overall look fantastic. But let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of a deeper look to get those details. Starting off here with Hook, as you can see, they were able to capture the simplicity of his robot mode from the G1 show, as well as giving it more of that modern feel for the 2025 way that they make figures. Admittedly, this is a little annoying, but I understand why. I just kind of wish it could, you know, slide up a little bit more. But overall, he looks absolutely fantastic. I love the overall coloring for him. Following up right behind is Long Haul, who is a lot more simple in design, but he honestly might be my favorite or my second favorite design of the Constructicons. I love the way this guy looks, and I love the way he cleans up too. He cleans up so much better than Hook did. This guy looks fantastic, and he feels fantastic too. And so with that, how are these two articulation-wise? Gotta admit, they're honestly fantastic. Once again, starting with Hook, you get a ball joint at the head, allows him to look up that far and look down that far, as well as look side to side. If you move these pieces up, you can get a near full 360 of the arm. Arm moves out, swivel here. You get technically a double bend at the elbow, but it's more for the transformation. Wrist can move in and out. No waist swivel, unfortunately. Leg can kick up that far, kick back that far, and the leg can kick about that far. You get a swivel here. You get a pretty decent bend at the knee. The toe can move up, and you do get a pretty decent pivot. Long haul following up close behind, you do get a ball joint at the head. Allows them to look up that far and look down that far, as well as look side to side. You get a full 360 at the arm. Arm moves out. Swivel, aka ball joint at the arm, or the elbow. You get in and out at the hand. No waist swivel, unfortunately. The leg can kick up that far, kick back that far, and kick out to the side. You get a swivel here. You can either untap, leg can kick out about that far. You get a swivel here. Technically, if you do untap this piece, you can get a bend, but what you're originally supposed to do is there's a little piece here, which can be a little tricky sometimes, but it does allow a much cleaner bend at the knee. No real up and down at the foot unless you count the heel, but you do get a very excellent pivot. And so with that out of the way, out of both of these guys, I would say that Long Haul has the far better articulation, but Hook definitely feels a lot more sturdy. But with that, what about their accessories? Well, we're gonna go ahead and start off with Hook again, more for the fact that he doesn't have anywhere near as many accessories. So to start off with, he does come with his little blaster, which, yeah, this thing looks pretty cool. And you can, of course, just go ahead and plug it into his hand to give him his weapons. And for Long Haul, you actually get this little pea shooter here, which once again, you can plug this to his arm, or you can bring in this giant trailer. And of course, there are other accessories to put onto it. You do get these missile pods, which end up being the hands, and you can fold down these pieces, or fold these pieces out here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bring these down. And then you're supposed to plug these both onto here. And then the other accessory you get is the giant chest shield piece of Devastator. And what you're supposed to do is you're actually supposed to have these wing pieces off, and they will tab into these little tabs here using these little slots. So you're supposed to just line the tabs up like so. And then once you have those tabs lined up, just plug it in and boom. Just like that, he can hold a lot of the accessories for Devastator. And in case you're wondering what to do with this doesn't actually have a specific place to go, but because it does have these two things on the front, you could make it look like another weapon maybe? It's possible, but there we are. And so with all that out of the way, how do these two scale? Well, these guys are around roughly like the small to middle range Voyager, and I'll show you guys what I mean right now. To begin, here we are next to the TF1 Optimus Prime and the TF1 Megatron, as always. Here they are next to my previous review, the Studio Series 07 Jazz, the Voyager class Prima Prime, the 109 Concept Art Leader class Megatron, and then finally, to top it all off, here they are next to the other two members of Devastator that we have, being Scrapper and Bonecrusher, which out of all these guys, I think Scrapper's still gotta be my favorite, but Long Haul is a very close second. So there we go. And now, with all of that out of the way, we can now begin phase 1 of the transformation, being going into their construction mode. So let's go. And there we are. That is phase 1 of the transformations fully done. And here they are in their construction modes. And these look amazing. Starting off here with Hook, as you can see, he cleaned up super well. And I love the way his vehicle mode looks. Admittedly, you do see the Devastator head, which is a little annoying, but it's not overly horrible. I mean, it's something you just kind of get used to. But overall, he looks fantastic. Long Haul by far has to be my favorite vehicle mode, as this thing just cleans up super well, and I love the way this thing looks. Admittedly, you can't really have him empty his dump, but what are you gonna do about that? It's not the end of the world. And you can, of course, attach the trailer onto this back piece, but I prefer to keep it off personally. It's just a personal thing. But yeah, overall, these two just look fantastic in their alternate modes. And something that I don't think I've ever done before, here is Scrapper and Bonecrusher next to Long Haul and Hook, in case you guys want to see how they look in their vehicle modes. So there you go. And with that, guys, that go ahead marks the end of my close look at these figures. So what are my overall thoughts? Well, pros, they look fantastic. They are super accurate to the G1 show, and I really love the way they were able to pull these guys off. Long Haul has great articulation, and Hook feels very sturdy. I like that very much about the individual figures. The accessories are pretty cool too, and I like how with Long Haul, they took better care of his robot mode and his vehicle mode and didn't fully try to complete the whole thing with trying to have Devastator fit into all that. They gave him a trailer for the lower half of Devastator, which I thought that was really cool. The transformations are really fun. I genuinely enjoy transforming these guys. Hook is a little hard to get at first, but once you get it down, it's really, really easy. The only thing that I would say is a real negative for me is more for Hook, in the sense of the Devastator head just kind of sticking out in a way. Like, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in his vehicle mode, but it's not the end of the world. But if I had to rank these two individually and as a 2-pack, for individual, Hook I would say is a solid 8 out of 10. He's a really cool figure and a really sturdy one too. Long Haul, I would have to give him a solid 8.5. The only reason I like him a little more than Hook is the fact that he's simple yet complex. But as a Commander class price point, if I had to rank these two together, I would have to give them a solid 9 out of 10. These guys are really, really good together. And so as always, we'll be starting off with packaging. So here is the front, the side,
The other side.
the bottom, the top, and finally the back of the box with the robot modes, the vehicle modes, and the bios, which both read, etc., combines with the other Constructicons to form Devastator. And so here we are with Mixmaster and Scavenger, the final two components of Devastator, and two of the ones that we've been looking forward to the most, just based off the fact that the other Constructicons have been given such good treatment, and I'm really excited to be able to check these guys out, so let's go. Starting off here with Mixmaster, as you can see, they got him perfectly. He looks absolutely fantastic. The detailing, the paint, I like how it's like divided up to where you have like the purple in the middle and then you have the green on the outside. It really makes him look amazing, and they cleaned this up so much better than the Combiner Wars version. It looks incredible. Of course, you do have the truck bits sticking out, but it's not the end of the world. Following up, you have Scavenger, and this guy does what I really wish they did on Bonecrusher, where they actually didn't just go full-on lime green just constantly. They gave him a little bit of that extra detailing. I will admit, this is kind of funny how you just have the claw arm just here. It is removable, so if you just wanted it like that, you can do that. Personally, I kind of prefer it like this. Just kind of, adds to the overall, style of the figure, but still not bad. For articulation, you do get a ball joint at the head, although it is a little hard to access. He can look up about that far, and he can look down about that far, as well as look side to side. You get a full unhinged 360 at the arm. Arm can move out. You get a swivel here. You have a bend at the elbow, just about a click or two. No wrist articulation though, as well as no waist. The leg can kick up about to 90 degrees, as well as kick back about roughly to 90 degrees. The leg can kick about that far. You do get a swivel here. You have a very nice 90-degree bend at the knee. Then finally, you get an excellent pivot. Turning to Scavenger, you do get a ball joint at the head. Allows them to look out that far, look down that far, as well as look side to side. You get a full 360 at the arm. Arm can move out. Technically, you do get a hinge at the shoulder, but that's more for the transformation. You do have a ball joint at the elbow, which means it can go up and go all the way around. The hands can move in, but that's more for the transformation. Once again, no waist swivel on this guy. A little disappointing that a lot of these guys don't have waist swivels. The leg can kick up beyond 90 degrees. The leg can kick back beyond 90 degrees, as well as go perfectly out to the side about 90 degrees. You get a swivel at the knee. You have a bend at the knee, around the same style as Bonecrusher. The toes can collapse, but that's more for the transformation. Then finally, 2 clicks of a ankle pivot. So overall, these guys' articulation are amazing. Between the both of them, to be perfectly honest, I would have to give it to Scavenger. I think I honestly prefer his articulation a little more than I prefer Mixmaster's, but that is just my opinion. Now then, for the accessories of these figures, they each only come with one, which is a single blaster for Mixmaster, which is the one on the left, and then the little gun with the mount or the barrel on the side, which is Scavenger's. And you can, of course, just plug these into both of the figures, and it just further completes them. I think they look fantastic with the guns. It just further elevates the figures just overall. And so with all that out of the way, how do they scale? Well, here they are next to TF1 Optimus Prime and Megatron. My previous review, the Age of the Primes Voyager class Alpha Trion, 86 Megatron, 86 Optimus Prime, and then finally a nice little family shot of all 6 Constructicons, which is just crazy how we got all 6 of these guys in a single year. So there you go. And now, with that being said, let's check out phase 1 of the transformation going into their construction modes. And bada bing, bada boom, we got ourselves 2 more construction vehicles. Starting off here with Mixmaster, as you can see, they got the detailing on this perfectly. I love the way that everything just works from the roll-up mode into the truck mode, and it just all looks fantastic. Yes, you do have the Devastator combining mode pieces on the back, but I really don't think that's the end of the world. I think they managed this amazing, and I think he looks incredible. They got all the little details perfectly. Following up with Scavenger, the only negative I have to say about this guy is that the piece on the actual crane piece can't rotate, but that is kind of made up for by the fact you do have not 1, not 2, but 3 pieces of articulation for the whole claw. I really like that, and I like how you can literally pose this however you want. You can have him scooping, you can have it constructed, you can have it just kind of like that. You can do so many things with it, and it looks incredible. I can't help but love this alt mode. Now for storage, you can of course just take Mixmaster's blaster and you can put it on top there, or you can put it into any 5mm port. For Scavenger, he does actually have this little piece here where you can plug it onto the back. Wait, no, wrong side. There's one on the bottom too. You just gotta watch out for this little barrel. Or you can of course just take it the normal way and just plug it in right there. So if you want them holding holding the weapon, in case you want them to hold the weapons like that. And now here we are with all 6 Constructicons in their construction vehicle modes, and these guys just look amazing together. They look fantastic just overall as a combined full team. And so what are my overall thoughts on these guys? Well, I have to say that these 2 have definitely put themselves around the middle to the better side of the Constructicons from 86. I definitely feel like that these are some of the better ones, as they look good, they feel good, their accessories are nice, being simple with only the blasters. The transformations are really, really fun. I can't even lie to you. I think for Scavenger, I've done his transformation like numerous times. Like, it is such a fun transformation. And I think just overall, they are a fantastic addition to the 86 Devastator. And even in the Devastator mode, they hold up really, really good. And I'm very much appreciative of that. And of course, I'll talk that more into my actual Devastator review. But if I had to give these guys an overall ranking between 1 to 10, I would have to give Mixmaster a solid 9 out of 10, and I'd have to give Scavenger a solid 8 out of 10. I think both these guys hold up perfectly. They are amazing. I do have a couple little critiques here and there, but they might just be my copies personally. But overall, they are still fantastic figures. Come on, come on, come on, come on. now that we've converted all these guys into their Devastator components, now comes the fun part, actually combining these guys. And yes, I'm fully aware that my camera is fully extended out. This is probably the only way I'm going to be able to get this guy fully into frame. So what you want to do first is you want to slide this into here, and then you want to align it kind of like you're realigning it all back up, like trying to tap it into place, and then it should just kind of all suction in together like so. In case the arms do untab, you can just retab those back in. And Mixmaster is a lot easier. You literally just slide it over and then just close that up, and boom, we got ourselves that setup. And in case for any of you G1 fans, if you want, you can take Long Haul's gun and slide it right on there to recreate that little toe. Now for the upper torso. So this is actually a lot more simple than you realize. It's literally just taking this and just sliding it down until it clicks on, and then do the same thing for the other side. So just line it up and plug it down, come on, like so. And in case you're wondering about weapon storage, there are 4 plugs on the back where you can just plug in each of the weapons. It doesn't necessarily matter where, just as long as they get plugged in. Hook actually has a unique place right here on his hook where there's a little button, little peg. You can plug that onto there. So it's nice that Devastator actually has some weapon storage. It's pretty cool actually. And now the final step, we just take this little piece, we can just hook it onto here, and then there are these 4 slots on 2 slots for each of the treads, and then this middle section. So we literally just bring it up and just tab it all into place, and there we go. There is 86 Devastator, and you can of course take the blaster and plug it into his hand. And let me just say, I'm not even exaggerating right now. I have to, quite literally, with the same thing happened with Star Convoy, I have to have my camera all the way back just to get this guy into frame. This guy is huge. It is unbelievable. And so taking a closer look at him overall, as you can see, all the Constructicons just came together absolutely perfectly, and it just leads to this incredible looking figure overall. It just all looks fantastic. I know that some people are a little upset about these, like the legs not being fully centered, but there was a reason that was explained for this, where if they were fully centered, then the legs would have just bashed with each other, and Hasbro didn't want that. So that's definitely something I'm willing to excuse. But overall, this guy looks amazing. Now, obviously, we will address the elephant in the room. Yeah, he's got a big backpack. But to be perfectly honest, I am honestly willing to excuse this, because like it's not as bad as one would think. Like, yeah, it's definitely a little awkward, but when you consider that most of these guys were literally working with like Voyager class, Deluxe class, like pricing and like, you know, like a budget, like, yeah, I know Hook and Long Haul do have technically a Commander class, but it's basically two Voyagers split amongst one another with a bunch of extra accessories. Like, when you really take that into consideration, I think this was honestly a sacrifice that was going to happen and was reasonable, personally. For Devastator's articulation, you have a swivel at the head. You can't really have the head move up unless you untab this bit. You get a full 360 at the arm. The arm can move out. You have a swivel here, a bend at the elbow. You do actually get some wrist movement, as well as opening hands. I ain't gonna lie, this actually shocked me, but you do actually have a moving waist swivel. That is amazing. I actually love that. The leg can kick up to about 90 degrees. That is so satisfying. The leg can kick back about that far and can kick out to the side. You have a swivel at the thigh. You have a bend at the knee going to about 90 degrees. And to top it all off, you do get an ankle pivot. So yeah, overall, his articulation is amazing. I am genuinely shocked by how much articulation they were able to put in this guy. And I'm really happy about it too. Like, for being like so limited in certain areas, he makes up for it in others. And I think that is amazing overall. Now, as I said earlier, this guy is huge. And I'm not even kidding with you. This guy is a big boy. To begin with, here he is next to the TF1 Optimus Prime and Megatron. Here he is next to Star Convoy or Star Optimus Prime. And this dude is literally about 15 inches tall. The fact that Devastator is already about to hit that is just insanity to me. the Voyager class Prima Prime. And then finally, here he is next to some other 86 figures, being Bumblebee, Optimus, and Megatron. And jeez, this dude literally towers over them. What the heck? So what are my overall thoughts on this guy? I have to say, he comes together amazingly. He is a fantastic combiner, and he scales amazing. Like, he is an incredibly scaled combiner, and they all just come together really well. I like how certain figures have like certain parts to them that are needed for Devastator. I think that was a really smart idea. I will say, the arms can be a little loose sometimes, especially Bonecrusher. His little piece that for the arm can be a little tricky to work with sometimes. And the back is definitely a bit of a mess, but I'm willing to excuse that with what we're working with. But that is, of course, just my opinion. So if I had to give Devastator an overall ranking on a scale of 1 to 10, I would have to give him a solid 9.5 out of 10. He is so close to being perfect. He's so close to it. But there are just few little gripes, tiny little gripes that just kind of bring him down. But this is still an amazing combiner, and if you get the chance, I would highly recommend that you finish him off. But thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good day, have a good night. I'll catch you on the flip side till all are one.
Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. This is Optimus endorsing Thundermus Prime. It's prime time.